Good morning, library friends. I brought with me today a folk tale about Red Hen and Sly Fox. It is by Vivian French and illustrated by Sally Hobson, and we are sharing this courtesy of Simon & Schuster Publishing. Thanks for letting us share. What do you see on the end pages here? I see scissors and needle and thread. And there's our two main characters, Red Hen and Sly Fox. Once there was a wood, and in the middle of the wood there was a tree. Under the tree there was a house, and in the house lived Red Hen. All the animals in the woods loved Red Hen because she was kind and careful. She mended and sewed for everyone and didn't ask for anything but a please and a thank you in return. She always wore an apron which had a pocket, and in that pocket she always kept a needle and thread and a little pair of scissors. All the animals in the woods loved Red Hen, except for Sly Fox. Sly Fox thought that Red Hen would make an excellent chicken dinner. One fine morning, Sly Fox woke up early. He yawned and stretched, and he smiled, and he said, "Aha! Today is the day I shall have my chicken dinner." Sly Fox hurried to his chest of drawers. He slipped a pair of socks in one pocket and a large sack in the other. Then he ran through the woods until he reached Little Red Hen's house. Sly Fox knocked on Red Hen's door. "Who's there?" called Red Hen. "Why, it's only me, Red Hen," said Sly Fox as she opened the door. "I've got a pair of socks with holes in the toes, and I wondered if you would be so kind as to darn them for me." "Come right in," invited Red Hen. In bounded Sly Fox. Immediately, he snatched the sack from his pocket and tried to slip it over Red Hen's head, but she was too quick for him. Up she flew to the very top of the cupboard, where she peered down at him. "Why, Mr. Fox," she said, "that's not nice. I offer to darn your socks for you, and you try to put me in a sack. That is not nice at all, Mr. Fox." Sly Fox said nothing. He simply turned around and around and around until Red Hen, watching him, felt her own head spin around and around and around. She grew so dizzy she fell off the top of the cupboard, right into the open sack below her. "Aha!" cried Sly Fox. "Home we go!" And he ran out of the house, carrying Red Hen in the sack on his back. Sly Fox ran through the woods, but the sun was very hot and Red Hen was very heavy. Sly Fox ran slower and slower, and finally he stopped. "Oh, goodness," he said. "What a fat Red Hen. I think I'll rest a while." He sat down on a grassy bank and put the sack close beside him. He tied the top as tight as he could. Then he lay back in the sunshine and closed his eyes. snored Sly Fox. He was fast asleep. Beside him in the sack was Red Hen, who was wide awake. She was thinking hard. "I'm wearing my apron," she said to herself, "and in my apron is my pocket, and in my pocket is a needle and thread and my little pair of scissors. Ha ha!" Red Hen took out her scissors. She snipped and she snipped, and she snipped a neat hole in the sack. Then she tiptoed out. She looked left, she looked right, she looked up, and she looked down, until she saw a large stone. She hauled the stone into the sack, then pulled out her needle and thread. She stitched and she stitched, and she stitched up the hole with such tiny little stitches that no one would ever have known there'd been a hole there. Then she ran and ran and ran all the way home and made herself a strong cup of tea. Sly Fox slept until the sun went down. "Ah-woo!" said Sly Fox, sitting up. "It's time for my chicken dinner." He picked up the sack and hurried all the way home to his dark old house at the very back of the woods. "Din, din," said Sly Fox as he pushed open the door. He dropped the sack on the musty, dusty floor and built a fire with sticks. He took down a large pot and filled it full of water. He put the pot of water on top of the sticks and waited until the water was bubbling and boiling. Oh, and then he rubbed his paws together. "Wakey, wakey, Red Hen," said Sly Fox, shaking the sack. He untied the top and tipped the sack into the water. The stone fell in with a giant splash. "Oh!" shrieked Sly Fox as the boiling water splashed on his whiskers. "Oh!" shrieked Sly Fox as the boiling water splashed on his paws. "Oh!" shrieked Sly Fox as the boiling water splashed on his fine bushy tail. Then he turned himself around, and he ran and he ran and he ran to the very edge of the woods and out and over the other side, and was never seen again. Red Hen continued to live happily in her house under the tree, and to mend and sew for all the animals in the woods. She always wore her apron with the pocket, and in the pocket she always kept a needle and thread and her little pair of scissors. That is one prepared hen, isn't it? It's always good to have the right tools with you.